Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
So glad to have you watching and listening to New Life Live. I'm Brian Perez, and whether you're a longtime listener or you just found us by scanning the dial or the algorithm sent us your way, welcome. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today, and by we, I mean clinical psychologist Dr. Jill Hubbard, who will be joining us shortly, and licensed marriage and family therapist Chris Williams. 1-800-229-3000 is our number, and Chris, fess up. What's going on?
All right, time with Chris the Confessor. Okay, so the confession this week is more in line with like St. Augustine's confession, where it's not always just telling on yourself. I mean, I got plenty to tell on for sure, but it's just kind of a statement of reality at times, like you're just kind of pointing out what's obvious in plain sight. And that is the Christian life, and life, if we're going to live it well, the good life in God, doesn't end, meaning that the work doesn't end. And one of the things that I've just really been working on lately is that I found that I just need a deepening and a strengthening in my faith, and mostly in my identity in Christ. And what I see in my work, especially I'm working more with, and I have over the years, just kind of worked with more people of like whether they have a lot of financial resources or influence or notoriety, that the systems of this world have a way of competing for our identity and knocking us off course and luring us into other things other than an identity rooted in Christ. And so I've kind of been reminded of that lately. And one of the things that has come to the forefront, it came up in my writing the other day as I was journaling, and that is roots produce fruits. And it's a very simple concept, but, you know, I tend to like the achieving thing. If people are familiar with the Enneagram, I supposedly I'm a 3, so I like to achieve and get things done and move things forward. With that said, I can get caught up in the outcome rather than the process, and including my identity or my well-being on how successful or achieving I can be, rather than on deep roots in my relationship and identity with Christ. And so in that shift, looking at a season in my life where I'm like, hey, let's get the roots a little bit deeper so you can get stronger, thought of this. This is a prayer that Paul has for the Ephesians, I think has for all of us. And it's a longer prayer, and I won't get into all of it. But this line here, I pray out of his glorious riches that he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being. I think that's important, inner being. Let me get back to where it is. In your being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, rooted and established, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide, long, high, and deep is the love of Christ, and to surpass this, to know that this love surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Man, I dream of being filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. But this requires, for me, returning back to deepening my roots in God's truth, in my relationship with him, in prayer, in study, in journal, and just really, as I say, fixing my eyes on Jesus and trusting him as the author, editor, perfecter of my faith. So I don't want to get too preachy in all of this, but just that, man, when we are apart from Christ, man, things just, our internal world doesn't work as well. Yeah. And I know that just to be a fact, and that is my confession today. I don't work well apart from the love of God.
Yeah, amen. So do you feel better now? Do you feel a blessing now that you're done confessing?
I do. It's off my shoulders. I feel lighter.
Yes, that's great. That's great. By the way, we have a tip sheet available on blessing and confessing, and we'll put that in the show notes as soon as I get the name of it. 8 blessings that come from confessing. We'll be back.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity, impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Washington, D.C., April 24th through the 26th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Use the discount code NLL to save $50.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you're listening to New Life Live or watching on a podcast platform, we'd love for you to take a quick moment to help us by writing a quick review or by rating us. 5 stars are our favorite, of course. It's a simple way that really helps us out. And if you'd like to call in and ask us a question, we're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today at 1-800-229-3000 with Chris Williams and Dr. Jill Hubbard. And let's go to the phones. Here is Jeremy, who is calling in from Bloomington, Indiana, listening on newlife.com. Hey there, Jeremy. Thanks so much for calling in today.
Hi, how are we all doing today?
Doing well. What's up with the phone?
The question I have is...
Hold on. We've got a really bad connection. I don't know what it is, so we'll try to get through it.
I think it's my phone.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But so go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. My question is I have a friend that is... actually, her house burnt yesterday, and I'm trying to find spiritual resources that she can use during the time that she's waiting to get back into her house.
So her house burnt down?
Yes, it burnt yesterday.
Oh.
There's severe damage, and so she will have to be in a motel for months before
Okay.
Wow.
back into her apartment.
And just practically speaking, because it is spiritual, if we see our brother or sister in need, and so does she have homeowners insurance?
I am not sure about that. I
Sounds
just
like it was
recently met her a week or two ago.
Okay.
But it was an apartment, so was it an apartment building?
It was actually, I believe it was a house.
Oh, okay.
The damage occurred at her neighbor's house as well, her next door neighbor's house.
Okay.
So it was a pretty major thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, my first recommendation is that we really can't get spiritual. Not can't, but it's hard to get to the spiritual side of things when we're in physical crisis. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that, we see in the book of James, we see throughout the entire scripture, is just coming alongside of those in need to help kind of be a voice and a sounding board, and sometimes just kind of jumping in and being like, hey, let me see if you're in shock, if your life has been disrupted and disoriented, what are the practical things that we can do to reestablish your basic needs and get those established first?
And also, I wanted to make a real quick point. Her daughter actually had to have major surgery on Friday. 3.5-hour neck surgery.
Oh, wow.
So she is really going through the mills right now.
Oh, she is.
She had surgery last Wednesday, actually.
Wow.
Sad.
So, yes, so Jeremy, she does need a lot of support. So, like Chris was saying, and sometimes, when people are in crisis, we say, oh, is there anything I can do for you? And a lot of times people don't even know how to answer that. I think it's good to kind of ask, to assess the needs, but at the same time realize they may not be able to answer you. So sometimes we have to observe and see, okay, what can I see from just, the outside that might be a need? Sometimes it's food, people do the meal trains.
Yeah.
It's certainly always prayer. Sometimes it's just going and sitting with them. Right? If they have, a family member in surgery, to just sit with them. sometimes when you're going through this, sometimes people don't, it's hard to even know how to pray or to sit and read their Bible. So sometimes it's just...
Or know how to help them.
Yeah, but sometimes just sharing that you're praying, that you're praying, and maybe, something from Scripture that speaks to you. But realize they may not be able to take it all in.
Yeah.
So,
Jeremy, how long have you known this woman?
I've actually known the lady for like 2 or 3 weeks. That her daughter goes to my church and was recently baptized in February.
nice.
And I met her through that, actually.
Okay.
And they're both Christians. Her and her daughter both are.
Awesome.
So this is a new friend. You could say that maybe you've come along for such a time as this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and I just think that it's important that we make sure that without, embarrassing anyone, but making it clear that the need is there, that it's present. Because I just think in church communities, there are a great amount of resources. Maybe there is someone who knows how to navigate the insurance world. That she is not in this place of crisis and deep fear and anxiety for her basic needs, because she knows that help is coming from the policy, her homeowner's insurance policy. But like you said, Jill, is people can jump in, and some people are really gifted at the meal trains, making sure that meals are covered. But one of the things of people in crisis, even though the resources are there, like you said, Jill, they don't know how to navigate, or may be overwhelmed.
Well, think about how overwhelming all that would be. Like, she had
absolutely.
surgery, daughter's having surgery, house burns down, she's got to move to a motel.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start?
Yeah.
Right?
And so the know-how, there's intellectual resources, people that know how to get things done, and how to get
here's a
resources,
thought,
and connecting to those people. Yeah.
Jeremy, if your daughter is the one connected with your church, who are her daughter's like close friends? Who are the people that she has been in relationship with longer? And maybe talking to those people too. What are they doing to come alongside daughter? And can we add her mother into the mix?
They are both like churches that they're associated with. She's associated with one, her daughter is, and then she's associated with another one.
Okay.
And I'm going to find out what church that she is associated with, the mother, and I'm going to find out what them and reach out to them as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Because see what else, partner with other people that have been in relationship with them maybe longer, and pool the resources.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the daughter's at the motel too?
No, she's in surgery.
Her daughter is actually in the hospital.
Okay.
She had surgery on Friday and is in the hospital and going to have to go to rehab at a nursing home, actually.
Yeah. Well, our prayers are with your friend and her daughter, and if everyone listening and watching can keep Jeremy's friend in your prayers. And all the different helps that you guys mentioned. There's also maybe somebody can start a GoFundMe or a Give, Send, Go.
Yeah,
one
that's
of
a
those
good
type
idea.
of things. Yeah.
Well, and visiting people when they're in the rehab center. The more
for sure.
eyes on people, the better, because sometimes they don't always get the best care in those places. So.
Yep. Jeremy, thanks for your phone call today. Thanks for caring for your friend. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call in and speak with Jill and Chris. And here is Greg in Scranton, Pennsylvania, listening on WRGN. Hey there, Greg. Thanks for calling 1-800-229-3000. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay, so a little bit of background about myself before I get into my problem. So back in 2006, I was driving around with a friend of mine. We had just moved in an apartment together. We were going to be like young bachelors, time of our lives, like nothing could stop us. And we were drinking profusely. I'm not too sure who was driving at the time, but we both there was a car crash. I received a broken leg and traumatic brain injury, and my friend died in the crash.
Oh, wow.
So I deal with that. But besides that, a little bit of time, and I've done rehab therapy, and I've got to basically the best I could do. And so sometime after that, I started dating a woman. She has kids, and in the beginning, life was very nice. It was a great relationship. We loved each other, and I thought it was on top of the world. short time after the relationship, I was still in the relationship now, but it's come to such a head that I'm discerning what to do in my life. Why God kept me alive? Why am I still here? Why am I in this relationship? What am I to do?
Okay. Do you guys live together, Greg?
I live with her. Yes, I live with her residence.
Okay. Any thoughts,
And
guys?
how long have you guys been together?
Let's see. We started dating December 3rd, 2012. We met, actually. Then we made official May 13th of 2013. So almost 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And are you guys married?
No.
Can I just ask why not?
I've always been apprehensive to it, and and sometime since we met, I've always thought that I would do something to hinder the relationship, and then I first philandered, and then we got back together, and then I philandered again, and I've been sabotaging the relationship.
Yeah. So, Greg, you got a lot going on inside of you, man. And one of the things is that there's something activated inside of you that keeps you violating your own value system. You know, I know that you want to be faithful, you want to be good, you want to be probably sober and all of those things, but there's something inside that that does get you acting outside of your value system. And if there's infidelity, there is deep hurt and wounding in the relationship that takes great amount of work and care to recover from. But regardless, most important inside of you is the work that you need to do for yourself. Because, Greg, you're living a life in which you are terrified of yourself and your own behavior, which tells me that there is two things active inside of you. One, there's unresolved pain. You know, there's things in your past that you're carrying around that are deeply hurtful and attacking you at an identity level, which we refer to as shame, something that's telling you that you're less than, that you're unworthy, something along those lines.
Well, and I'm wondering about survivor's guilt, Greg. Your friend died. You went through a lot, but you said, why is God keeping you alive? Or why did he keep you alive? Like, you're supposed to do something more. And yet, in fear of that, Chris, is what you were saying, and with some of that unresolved grief, you're kind of just settling to kind of stay mediocre, sabotaging yourself, by not necessarily following exactly what God would want you to do. You've been in this relationship, and so it sounds like as you move closer in intimacy, then the sabotage happens, right? There's the acting out, and certainly that will keep things from moving. So it does sound like a lot of inner conflict. You want more, you think God wants more for you, and yet you're saying, no, God, I'll just stay right over here and not fully embrace anything. So I do think there's a part of you that feels really unworthy, and maybe even like, why did he let you live and take the other guy?
Right, yeah, because, I mean, I've always felt that as I was in high school, we went to high school together, and he was always the social butterfly, and I was always like the fly on the wall, or always the timid one. And but then once I came of age of being able to partake in libations, we found the bar, and we party a lot, and that's when my inhibition dropped, because I'm now on the equal pairing with females, so I take advantage of it, and because of that, it's that's what's.
So prior to everything, Chris, like what you were saying, you felt less than.
Right.
Right, like you didn't quite measure up. And so, but now, so then you have the liquid courage, right? That gives you that false sense of I'm on a level playing field. but now you're kind of living the life through, I'm not measuring up.
Right, yeah, and because after the accident, the brain injury, that has, the alcohol basically has 5 times affected me. So I really don't partake anymore. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah, but I'm still up with the ramifications of the accident.
Yeah.
Greg, I think you would benefit from a life recovery group, and I'm sure we have many there in the Scranton, Pennsylvania area, so stay on hold and we'll help you get connected with one, and we'll see if Jill and Chris have anything else to offer to you when we come back from the break here on New Life Live. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call for you to talk to Dr. Jill Hubbard and Chris Williams. We're in the studio for 2 hours today. We would love to talk to you. 1-800-229-3000.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seemed to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learned a lot from your program. You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
1-800-229-3000 is the number to call into the studio today. And let's go back to Greg in Pennsylvania. You still with us, Greg?
Yes, I am.
Oh, man, you sound so much better.
Oh, wow.
What'd you do different?
Well, actually, I apologize. Before I was traveling in my vehicle, so I had a Bluetooth. And something with the Bluetooth function happened that it's not as loud as it used to be.
Yeah,
it's not always good.
So now I can hear you better.
Okay.
Okay,
oh,
great.
good. You're part. So
All
you're
right.
safe. Go ahead.
Yes.
So, Greg, we have something for you. I think it'd be really, really important for you to be a part of. Now, it's not for a little while off, about a month and a half away, maybe a couple months away, but on April 24th in Washington, D.C., it happens to be within driving distance, relative
Tell them
driving
what it
distance.
is, though, Chris, because you
It
missed that
is-
part.
I know. I'm getting to
Okay.
it. It is Every Man's Battle. And Every Man's Battle is this weekend workshop that is going to, I believe, open doors to transform the way that you are relating to yourself, your significant others, and God. You are carrying around a lot of historical pain and shame that is activating itself and making poor decisions. And every man, including sexual acting out. And so Every Man's Battle is going to help you lift up the hood on your car and see what is malfunctioning in the engine and start giving you direction and a new way and a new pathway to start getting it functioning, to start fixing it and working on it, and so that you can be healthier for yourself and the people around you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And kind of the analogy I would give is, Greg, I kind of picture you just bobbing in the water, right? Kind of you're treading water and just kind of keeping the status quo, but desiring for more. And Every Man's Battle helps you to get your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
It really helps to ground you, and it's the fastest way to change. And I think you've been suffering a long time. So
And I was just also saying, as a result of the accident, I was working full time, of course, after college. I was 06 when I graduated, a little bit before college then, and then I was working full time, and then the car accident, and so obviously my work life took a massive hit after rehab, therapy and stuff like that. And then once I got moved back home, my parents was looking for a job for vocational. What's my calling? Well, how am I able to help sustain a life for myself, but then also contribute to my community and make that better? And how can I pitch in? And because granted, I don't walk the best. My gait's a little crooked.
Okay. Well, all of that said, Greg, I mean, I think sometimes we have to get ourselves in order before we have something to really give. So I love what you're saying, but I think sometimes we get it backwards. And so we want to go out and we want to help our community because then we don't have to look at ourselves.
Well, and I want to say this, if financial resources are a barrier, two things. The first thing I want you to do is what you can do today. I want you to get on our New Life website or app, and I want you to download the Every Man's Battle podcast and start listening to it. Start listening to it at the beginning and just keep going through it, because that's going to help support you. The next thing is that get on and register for Every Man's Battle coming up in April. If finances are a struggle or an issue, we have scholarshiping available. So look at that. Look at that as an option. Your calling today is a great sign of courage and readiness to change. What we want to be able to do is activate that and get momentum in your life right now and not have too many barriers for that. It just requires a little effort on your part. So go and get Every Man's Battle podcast, register today.
Yep, indeed.
Okay.
And you can find all those details at newlife.com, or you can call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. The Every Man's Battle Intensive is happening in April, like Chris said, in Washington, D.C. It's a weekend thing, April 24th through the 26th. Details, again, at newlife.com. And as Jill, as you said earlier, sometimes we want to help the community around us when we're not helping ourselves. It reminds me of the thing when you're on an airplane and they tell you put the mask on yourself first before you help your children or the people next to you.
Yeah, Greg, I really think you'll be amazed after going to this, and you will feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
And you'll have greater clarity.
I appreciate that. And I've also done conferences in my neck of the woods here. The Be a Man conference we've had in the Northeast PA section, and they've always had great speakers and great talkers and great subjects to discuss. I remember there was one time I wish I would have known more, the better at the time, but Matt Fratta was there. I should have talked when his talk. I missed it. But then Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, he was known.
Yeah, well, there are wonderful conferences that people do, but I guarantee you there's none like this one that we do.
And this isn't really a conference.
This is not a conference. It's an intensive, Greg.
Yeah, it's way more participatory.
You don't just sit there passively listening and learning.
Yeah.
You're involved.
Yeah, small groups, you talk about each other's battles, you get to know each other, you get to hold yourself accountable to guys that you meet who are struggling with the same thing, and you can find out all about it on newlife.com. But register today. There's also a discount if you sign up by April 10th, I believe it is. So you've got time, but do it today, because otherwise, if you put it off, if you're like me, you'll put it off, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, well, I can still sign up, but I missed that discount. Well, do it right now at 1-800-NEW-LIFE or at newlife.com. Greg, thanks so much for calling in today. Peggy, you are next. You are on hold right now. We'll talk to you in just a little bit. And everyone else, 1-800-229-3000 is our number. We're going to be in the studio for the rest of this hour and all of next. So call in now. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can call in too. We'd love to talk to you. 1-800-229-3000 with Chris Williams and Dr. Jill Hubbard. We'll be back.
90% of Christians have trouble with sex, have trouble with marriage, have trouble with communicating, because we were not ever taught practical, basic things about intimacy, about marriage, about sex. We did a huge disservice to ourselves.
When you come to intimacy and marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
They taught us a ton of skills about connecting, about how to really help each other to feel seen and heard.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy in Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is July 24th through the 26th in Washington, D.C. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I think if everyone came earlier rather than later, they could save themselves years of misery and misunderstanding.
There's a place where real healing begins, where truth meets grace, and where transformation starts. New Life Recovery Groups offers a Christ-centered, supportive community for growth, healing, and restoration. Built on a proven 12-step foundation and grounded in biblical truth, these groups help bring clarity, accountability, and lasting hope for those who are ready for change. And when deeper personal guidance is needed, one-on-one coaching and counseling are available, walking with you every step of the way. Here, lives are renewed, stories are rewritten, and hope is restored. You're not alone. You're not judged. You're welcomed into a community that believes God is still at work in your story. Take the next step toward healing. Join a New Life Recovery Group today, online or in person. Visit newlife.com/groups or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Find healing, find community, find new life. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you have a heart for helping the hurting, becoming a 99 for the one partner is a great way to make a real impact. When someone reaches out to New Life, it's often at a moment of deep crisis. 99 for one partners make it possible for help to be available consistently, not just occasionally, but every day. Their monthly support sustains the core of New Life Ministries, or New Life's ministry, including New Life Live, recovery groups, counseling, intensives, courses, and scholarships for those who cannot afford care. You can learn more about how 99 for the One partners make a difference at newlife.com/99for1. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call in today. And let's go right to the phones. Here is Peggy, who is in Fort Worth, Texas, listening on Sirius XM channel 131. Welcome, Peggy, to New Life Live.
Hello.
Hi. How can we help you?
Are you there?
Yes, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear us? Don't be listening on the radio, be listening on your phone.
Yes, I'm listening on the radio. Do I need to cut my radio down?
Yes, and I hate telling people to turn off the radio. That's just not something I like doing because, you know, we want people to listen to the radio. But right now, for the next few minutes as we're speaking with you.
Okay, yeah, it'll be delayed.
Yeah, you'll hear a delay. It'll drive you nuts.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so what is your question?
Hello.
Hi, what's your question for us today?
Hello.
Hi, Peggy. Can you hear us? All right, let's find out what's going on with Peggy, because we can hear her. She can't hear us. It's usually the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let me just try one more time. Peggy? Peggy, you there? Yes. Oh, good. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
Yes. My question is just some pointers regarding infidelity. My husband was unfaithful for the first about 25 years of our marriage. Oh. And we went through lots of encouragement and some counseling, not probably enough. I made the decision to stay to try to keep the family together. And since that time, I did file for divorce in 2013 because I felt like he was having some emotional affairs. And I ended up not going through with it. But now, currently, the issue is I went out of town for a church conference with my daughter-in-law, and my husband ended up going to a woman's birthday party. Well, I was out of town, and he told me he was going to this lady's birthday party, and then he never made a comment, that he went, what went on. And so I finally confronted him about 7 days ago, and he went to a woman's birthday party, but it was not the original woman. He went to a different woman's party and never told me that the change happened, or, I have just felt really violated again.
Question. What changed your mind? Like you said, you were trying to keep the family together, but first 25 years of infidelity, what has your husband done differently to get help for his infidelity, for his patterns of
unfaithfulness?
Yeah, unfaithfulness, yeah.
And how long have you guys been married?
A long time. We've been married 55 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So has he done anything?
As far as reaching out for help, not really. He's gotten...
Okay, so let me jump in.
Wait,
let me just jump in. 'Cause that's
25 years.
That's all I need to know.
Acting out.
Yeah. It doesn't disappear into the night. It takes unbelievable amounts of rigorous work over a very long period of time. One of the aspects that is, the aspect that gets all the attention or most of the attention is the acting out.
Right.
Now, but things have to occur before the acting out occurs.
Oh, yes, I do realize that.
Right?
Yes.
Hiding and deception. So one of the things I'm constantly looking for in the recovery from this pattern is, where is a person hiding and deceiving? And it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's finances. I don't care if it's time spent. I don't care if it's location. Because the recovery from the deceit and the lying or the gaslighting has to be addressed if there's any chance of the restoration of trust being restored in the marriage itself. And so what you have here is just a repeat, it's like going back to that old definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. So if your husband hasn't done anything, I would expect nothing. This sounds cruel and mean, but it's like not our first rodeo. I would expect nothing less than for him to continue a pattern of acting out.
See, this is, Peggy, this is his way of coping. And getting good feelings about himself. And he hasn't developed any other healthier ways of coping. And so he may be able to be, in a sense, a good boy and go into deeper hiding and deceiving so that it seems like he's showing up for more for the marriage. But this keeps popping up. So, there hasn't been any real work done. And I totally get you trying and staying in this marriage and not just throwing in the towel. I mean, you guys have spent, over half your life together. And you've had kids together. And there's a lot to that commitment of family. Right? And this is, it's like he has an illness.
Significant life together. But yes,
it's like he has an illness that keeps showing up.
Well, it's just untreated.
Yes, it's an untreated illness. And so you've been through this a long time. So that little voice inside of you that tells you something's off. You know that you need to trust that, because God has given you that intuition. And you don't even need to know all the details. You just know something's off. And it's time for him to do something different.
So Peggy, the first woman whose party you thought he was going to, were you okay with him going to that party? But
not really. I asked him the question, why would you do that? Because she is a relative of one of the affairs, that person. And I was very upset that he was going. But he said, I'm going. Do you want to go with me? And I told him I had already made the plans at my daughter-in-law's church for a women's conference. I was not available And I'd made those plans 2 weeks ago and told him.
Well, here's what this story tells me is that, Peggy, he's not interested in your safety, security, and he's not interested in your trust. And without those, I don't know how you have any sense of peace or okayness in the relationship. And not to mention, none of the repair that's been happening and none of the recovery that's been happening as a result of what's happened over the course of your marriage. So I think you have some very, very different
I think
decisions.
I think Peggy, getting the book Worthy of Her Trust, and
I have that.
Okay, you do. Okay, has he? Because it's good for you to know what you should expect, and it would be good for him. I don't know. Has he read it?
No, he wasn't interested. Right? No.
Yeah, which is to Chris's point.
Yeah. So I think the best possible thing you can do right now is that you're in Fort Worth, is that right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. This has got to be a God thing.
Yes.
Is that this weekend is Restore in Dallas. And Restore is our workshop that for women who have experienced sexual betrayal in their relationships, specifically in their marriages. And
I attended that several years ago.
Okay.
I did. I had gone. I don't. I guess I felt like I was doing all the work.
Okay.
And that's I was seeing him do nothing.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, unfortunately, this is what's really unfair: is you do have to do work.
Yeah.
And the work is really, I think, one, confronting reality, which is terrible in your situation, but two is getting yourself in a safer, better place. Boundaries. And getting
system.
support. Because I don't want you to look at Restore as more work. I want you to look at it as more care. You need a lot of care to get through and to work through.
Well, and to go through it again, right? And to really confront him so that there is motivation to change.
And if there's not, there's different decisions to be made. Yeah.
Sometimes that is the pushback that we hear from women. We tell them about Restore and they think, you know what? I didn't do anything wrong. He did it.
Yeah.
He's the one that needs to get the work. And he does. He needs to go to Every Man's Battle or, get therapy. But you also need help and care from the concerned women who are going to be at Restore. It's this weekend. I'll tell you more about it when we come back from the break. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. So call in. We'll be right back.
What a New Life course is it's around a topic led by a professional licensed counselor coach with a small group of 8 or 9 people on a weekly Zoom call. You're going to go through the information, but also connect as a group. Those group processes make all the difference in the world. And so we have created New Life courses so that you can experience that on a weekly basis. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful and it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us. So you can sign up right away. With 8 or 9 slots open, they're going to go quick. And so you want to call today and get registered.
Begin your transformation May 4th with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com.
Hello, it's Becky Brown. I am so excited to launch our 99 for the One partner initiative. Every day we hear from people all over the world who are looking for hope. They've been lost in a relationship struggle, addiction, anxiety, depression, all kinds of ways. And it reminds us of the story in Luke 15 where the shepherd that leaves the 99 to go rescue the one. And we've seen God work in the lives of so many people over the years here at New Life, and we want to invite you to be part of what God is doing. 99 for the One is our partner program that you can give to the ministry on a monthly basis to make sure that we continue to reach out to the lost.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, 1-800-639-5433, or newlife.com/9941. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
If you are a woman with sexual betrayal as part of your story, we believe God has a redemptive story for your life. If your heart is longing for real healing and community, join us this weekend in Dallas for the Restore Workshop. This workshop offers professional guidance from licensed Christian counselors with deep experience in betrayal trauma recovery, safe small group sessions where you can process honestly and be heard, practical tools for rebuilding trust, setting healthy boundaries, and managing emotional overwhelm. Teaching that addresses the real impact betrayal has on your identity, mind, and relationships, and a supportive community of women who get it because they've been where you are. You can get all the details at newlife.com, and if finances are an issue, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to ask about need-based scholarships. Again, it's this weekend. Peggy, we sure hope you can be there. It's right down the street from you. I don't know where you live.
Well,
but
and sometimes, too, we do change it up. So if Peggy attended years ago, it might be nice to go again. But
it'll be a new experience.
It'll be a new experience, yeah, and it's different people. But I'm also thinking for Peggy, because she's been in this so long, and she did go to Restore, that Codependence of Sex Addicts is a 12-step group organization that can be very helpful for ongoing support. And I think even though you're very experienced at living with a cheating husband, and I've known so many people that say, I hate my marriage. I hate my marriage, but I love being married. And so it's a hard thing to give up a lifestyle, everything intertwined, and we hate divorce. And so women will often resign themselves to living in this kind of relationship with someone who isn't interested, Chris, like you said, in building their trust or giving them security. And I think that Peggy, it would be important to tell your husband that you realize that he is not interested in really, truly having an intimate relationship with you, and one where he cares about how you feel about things, and that you're going to think about what you're going to do, that you're going to get some help and looking at how maybe you've just resigned yourself to this and you're tired of that. So sometimes we don't have to tell someone, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm filing for divorce, or I'm doing this. You just put them on notice that I can no longer live this way. It's getting too uncomfortable.
Well, and when your behavior changes, it puts them on notice.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-800-229-3000. We'll go from Peggy to Patrick, who is in Riverside, California, watching us on YouTube. So we'll wave hi to Patrick. Thanks so much for calling in today. What's your question for us?
Yes, I'm calling because I have an anxiety that I get around my kids, and I don't know what to do about it.
Little kids? How old are you kids?
Well, they're adult, 30, they're adults, so 33 and 35, but it was also in childhood when they were little too as well.
Okay, how often do you see them?
Well, let's see. My daughter lives pretty close by, so maybe every other week. My son lives out of state, so that's impossible to see him on a daily basis or weekly.
And how are you talking to them, like on the phone?
That's the thing. There's a very big disconnection, and I was wondering if it has something to do. I had this same feeling around my mother. I had an anxiety around.
You still with us, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay.
So Patrick, anxiety in your case is a response, is a fear response. So the fear response it points to a threat. So what is, and you may not be able to identify this, but I want to help you here today identify, but what's the threat that you feel when you're around, let's go back to your mom.
Yeah, let's go back to your mom.
What was the threat you felt when you were around your mom?
Well, my parents divorced when I was very little. I was around 5, and I lived with my dad. My dad did some impressions into my mind, like, oh, your mom doesn't love you, kind of a way to kind of like put a wedge. So my entire family is very, very disconnected. There's no connection. It seems like we're on our own island, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, connected by genetics, but everybody is like solo on their own.
Relationally isolated.
Relationally isolated, exactly.
Well, just even that line, your mother doesn't love you, to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I can't imagine planting that thought. And 5-year-olds kind of believe what they're told.
Yeah.
And to feel like your mother didn't love you, and here the evidence is you're living with your father, and where was she? Did you see her much, Patrick?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't. When I went to see her, I'd always feel like I didn't want to be there. So there was kind of like when I showed up, the anxiety came in and depression. But as I was told by my siblings that my mom was checked out a lot of times on Valium because that was the antidepressant of the day back in the 70s.
Yeah.
So she wasn't very available.
Well, okay. Well, Patrick, what you have inside of you, if you would, that anxiety is going to hit at the center of your chest. Am I right? Physically is where you're going to feel it?
Yes.
Okay. Right there exists a message or an identity about yourself that is a false identity. It's a false belief. But because it got in there when you were 5 and it was reaffirmed by your parents' divorce and reaffirmed by your mother's struggle with her own substance issues, it convinced you that you're unlovable. And in closeness is when that is triggered. It's like, so there's a landmine inside of you, and the landmine is unlovable, and then there's tripwires around that landmine. And the tripwire is closeness. And so very few, if any, relationships on planet Earth are as close as a parent to a child. And so closeness equals unlovable, and that's the fear and the anxiety that comes up. And then the work is to start identifying where that comes from, what the nature of the landmine, and then start extracting it and getting it out of your heart.
Well, right. And at 5 years old, because you're highly dependent on parents, the message children give to themselves is something is wrong with me.
Yeah,
because we need to keep our parents good, so we make ourselves bad, because that at least preserves that someone will be there to take care of me. And so if something is wrong with you, then fast forward, you're an adult with children, the fear that somehow you may damage your children, you won't be enough for them, they won't love you. And so that anxiousness in keeping them a bit at arm's distance makes a lot of sense, Patrick. Does that make sense to you?
It makes a lot of sense. And I wanted to ask just, how do I work? I'm in therapy, so I've actually seen a therapist before. So what do I need to talk to her about to help me address this?
I think getting into what I call the body, or your core experience. I think going back and talking through the ways in which you're discovering that you feel and believe yourself to be unlovable. And then what we start to do is realize that, listen, man, there's a 5-year-old. If you were to picture the 5-year-old today, and you were to try to ascribe unlovable to him, it would make no sense whatsoever. And that begins the beginning point of retelling our own story in a very different way and re-meaning it, meaning that it means something different. You know, unfortunately, I was born into 2 human beings that were unable to love me the way I needed to be loved, support me, and be the parents the way I needed to be supported, but that had nothing to do with me. Now, that's easy to think about. It's harder to work out, and it just takes work over and over and over again.
And see, you're now seeing it through adult eyes, where you only had the child's eyes. Previously.
Yeah.
Patrick, there's a resource in our store called Doing Life with Your Adult Children. We think you should pick that up from newlife.com. Keep calling in, 1-800-229-3000.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.